Hello everybody watching the video. Today I'm going to be going over every single BTD6 tower. That's every single one, this, all of them, to see which path is the best for every single tower. And later on, some point, I might do best cost path for them. Yeah, but today it's just best T5 tower for each path. We start with the top monkey. This is just going to show you how it works, and then I'll start just skipping through it because there's a lot of towers. Basically, I'm just going to go this one because I know this one's the best, but whatever. I'm going to send, I'm ready to set the round to 99999, that round, and it sets to 255, that's my highest ever round. Send a reinforced bad at him, see how many pops it gets. This is a single target test, in case you're wondering. And I did it on this round, A, so that it's not poppable by one tower, and B, so it's fast. 4,000, that's pretty good. 4,000 in single target, and let's say 50 reinforced ceramics. Go. That's multiple target test. 7,000, so that only got 3,000. That was a bit too fast. Good. Reinforced ceramics. Okay, it might actually pop all of them. Okay, so let me just sell that, re-get it because that didn't quite work. What I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do 999, which is actually 255, BAD balloon, painful. I said 50 of them in one. There we are. Did it already have? Oh no, it already had the pops. Of course it did. And the other BADs. This is not going very well. Let's do it again. Oh yeah. 1,000. 2,000. 3,000. 4,000. Oh, is it going to hit 5,000? No. Almost 4,800. Good. Count 100 reinforced ceramics. Ooh, that's good. So that got 17,000 pops. That's pretty good. And let's try the other ones. Now, just so you know, I'm not going to do this one because I know this one's terrible. The only thing good about it is its ability, which helps others, and I'm not doing that at the moment. I'm just doing the T5 itself, so that doesn't count. Let's do top path then. I honestly think that's the best path, but it doesn't matter. Okay, might as well do the ceramics first then. I've already forgotten the total of the other one. It's like 17,000 or something, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Did I do that again? Oh my gosh. No, I might try this. Just give it a go. I've never done it before, but I did it again. Yeah, no, that's terrible. Terrible at single target. And as we've already seen, very bad. The multiple target. What's the total going to be? It's doing quite well for the multiple target actually. Oof, 7,000. Okay, so the Dark Monkey best path is bottom path. Alright, that's how it's going to work. I'm just going to run through it. So I'm going to run through it. I'm just going to like. Single, so top path, single target, and I'll show you how many pops. Multi-target, I'll show you how many pops. Let's go. Boomerang Monkey, top path, multi-target, 12,800 pops. Total is this, 20,303, which means that for the single target, it got about 8,000. quite good, 20,000 total. Middle path boomerang, single target, 7,956. After the multi-target, 20,756 total, which is about 13,000 for the multi-target test. If you're wondering, yes, it popped every single one on the multi-target test. Domination has done surprisingly well on the multi-target, 12,060, really good. After the single target, it's on 25,000. There's a total, which means that it has a total of, I do maths, 13,000 on the single target test. Pretty good. From this, we can now assume that in ascending order of power, the order of the boomerangs is weakest, middle, strongest. After the single target, the pop shooter top path has 408 pops. We do have to remember that it doesn't stun bad balloons, and therefore it's really only ever used for ZOMGs, so it's kind of an unfair test, but I can't bother to change it. After the multi-target, bomb shooter has a total of 13,208 pops, which is about 13,000 for the multi-target, which is surprisingly good. It's mainly a single target tower. I was expecting big things for the middle path bomb shooter for the single target, and it did not disappoint. 25,000. Really good. After the multi-target, the total is 27,144, which means it's about 2,000 for the after the multi-target test. Wasn't expecting much, that's still really good. 27,000, big total. After the multi-target, the bottom path bomb shooter, the bomb blitz, 12,786 pops. 14,500, 2,500 for the single target, not very good. Nowhere near as good as this. Which means in ascending order of power, the order is this, least, middle, best. But we do have to remember that the balloon crush against the reinforced BAD is terrible, but against a reinforced ZOMG, for example, let me re-get this so I can show you. I got the wrong path. Let me re-get this so I can show you. Against, say, a reinforced ZOMG, watch what happens. And it gets infinite pops until the ZOMG pops. So we do have to remember that. Still, that's the order if we apply by today's test rules. After the single target, the top path tack shooter has done surprisingly well. Tack shooters are generally multi-target things, but this one's got 20,000 pops, which is really good. After the multi-target, has a total of 32,842 pops, which is about 12,000 multi-target. But then again, the multi-target in fact does have less pops to get. So it did pop every single balloon in the multi-target, which makes it a really good, strong contender. After the multi-target test, the middle path tack shooter has 12,158 pops, pretty good, but that's all because of the ability. After the single target, it has a total of 14,000, which means about 2,000 for the single target test. Not very good, but then again, it's a multi-target tower. Pretty good. Not as good as the Inferno, nowhere near. Attack Stone is one of the ones I've really been looking forward to. And that's not very good, surprisingly not very good. 6,340. And the bottom path tack shooter destroyed the multi-target test, popped all of them, just like the top path one did. Has a total now of 19,000, which is again about 12,000 from the multi-target. Pretty good. Which means in ascending order of power, the order of the tack shooters is weakest, middle, strongest. Super Brittle, unsurprisingly, did not do that well in the multi-target, 7,244. Quite good, but then again, Super Brittle balloons take huge damage while frozen, including Royal Class balloons. That's the point of it. It's not really meant to be an attacking tower. And as is to be expected, after the single target, Super Brittle basically got about 100 after the single target. But again, that's not what it's for. It's for making the Royal Class balloons take more damage, not for popping them. Only 21 pops. After the multi-target test, Absolute Zero, the middle path Ice Monkey, has a total of about 5,000, let's just say, which is, because it got basically no pops on the single target, 5,000 on the multi-target, which is terrible. And yeah, that was another way of putting it, it's terrible. I thought this one would do very, very well in the multi-target, and it did. That is really good, 11,000, especially for an ice monkey. As the single target, it has 13,822 as a total, which is alright, I guess. Got 2,000 in the single target, but again, that's not the point of it. The point of it is that it can freeze COMGs and get loads of pops from there. So in ascending order of how good they are, it's worst, middle, best. As is expected for the top path glue gunner, the balloon solver, it demolished the multi-target test, 12,800. It popped every single multi-target balloon. And in fact, if I'd done any more, it would have popped them all anyway. As the single target, it has a total of 14,762 pops, which is almost exactly 2,000 for the single target test. Total 14,762, pretty good. Now for the middle path glue gunner, and also for the bottom path glue gunner, we all know that they don't do damage unless you go for the top path twice. They don't even do damage, they can't get any pops. For example, if I just send like a reinforced BOD, oh, it does get pops. I didn't know that. Do normal glue gunners get pops? I'm fairly certain this one doesn't get pops. Normally though. Yeah, no, this one can't even attack it. Even if I use the ability, nothing happens. So I'm not going to be using the middle path, but I'm all one path, I think. But out of them, my personal opinion is that this is the best because it's the only one that actually does damage. After the single target test, the top path sniper, the cripple Moab, has 5,695 pops, very good. Again, it's a Moab popper, really strong attack. After the multi-target test, top path sniper has 8,272, that's the total, which means about 3,000 for the multi-target, not a very high total really. Middle path sniper after the multi-target test, 9,786, has already beaten the top path incredibly. After the single target test, it has 10,119, so it only got 400 from the single target. But still, it's better than the top path. After the single target, the bottom path sniper, the elite defender, is putting in a great performance and is already in first, and is already the best path for the sniper. And it's the cheapest as well. Okay, it's the cheapest as well. But obviously, we do have to do the multi-target test. After the multi-target test, it has 20,000 as a total, which means 7,000-ish for the multi-target test, 20,000. That means that the order, in ascending order of how good they are, of snipers, T5s, is worst, middle, best. But, you do have to remember that the point of it isn't to get pops against BODs, again, because for the same reasons as all the other ones that I stated about. Reinforced OMG. I just sent 100 off. Because of reinforced ZOMG, as you can see, just gets stunned. That's the point of it. Another thing is everything affected classes mobilise for longer and take extra damage from all those attacks. That's the point of it. But we're just doing it for the single tower, and therefore Elite Defender is the best T5 for the sniper. Top path monkey sub for the single target is done horrendously, only 155 pops. It's second worst so far, joint with the absolute zero. But after the multi-target test, it has 10,155. 10,000 for the multi-target test. Very good for multi-target, still not very good, but still have to remember, more of a buffing thing, reduced ability cooldowns, heroes earn more stuff in this one. Ability cooldowns of nearby water 50%, it's more of a buffing tower, moose camo, that sort of thing. It's not really all of that. Middle path sub has 8,000 after a multi-target test, pretty good. After the single target test, the middle path buccaneer has 31,246 for total, really high total, and about 23,000 pops. The bottom path monkey sub after the single target test has 3,380 pops, and after the multi-target test has a total of 8,794, about 5,000 in the multi-target, which means in ascending order of power, they are worst, middle, best. But then again, the point of this is that it busts these, but I didn't have any of these. This busts other towers. So yeah, that was a bit of an unfair test, but in pure popping power, the preemptive strike is the best monkey song. Carrier flagship absolutely melted the multi-target test. Maximum pops possible, 12,799 pops. After single target, it has a total of 20,922, which means about 8,000 for the single target. After a single target, the middle path Monkey Buccaneer has 3,343 pops. But the trouble is you can't actually use this ability on a reinforced bad. Like, I'm pressing this ability, nothing happens. Oh, I just messed up the results. Idiot. But you can't use the ability on a reinforced BAD, that's the point. Old Man the Pirate only had 16,000 after the multi-target, which is about 13,000 for the multi-target in general. 16,000 is the total. On second thought, I'm not going to bother with the bottom one, the Trade Empire, because as we all know, the Trade Empire cannot get enough. Doesn't get pops. That's the point. It gets money. So I'm not quite bothered. So in order of how good they are, best, middle, I guess. I don't know if that's it's worse for popping power. We know that. Let's say best, middle, worst in that order. That's quite a nice order. But then again, this isn't for BADs, that's the point of it. For the single target, it's really good against 0 MGs. So that was another kind of unfair test, but we're only doing it for Tom Power of single target with reinforced BADs. After the multi-target for the top path thing, Monkey Ace, the Sky Shredder, I can't think of it, I forgot to get any cost paths. It's still absolutely demolished the multi-target test with 12,800 popped all of them with no problems. The Monkey Ace now, top path, after the single target, has 27,974 pops. It's about 15,000 for the single target. After single target, the Tsar Bomber now has 6,467 pops. Actually, I decided I'm going to do this one on camera because I think it's funny. This is for the multi-target, watch. I'm just going to wait for all the balloons to come on screen. I'm going to use the ability and they're all going to be demolished. That's easy. All 12,800 pops from the multi-target test. Simple, right there. And 90,267 as the total for the Tsar Bomber. The Flying Fortress after the multi-target destroyed it. The balloons didn't even get onto the screen. 12,800 pops. After single target, it has the incredible total of 38,656 pops, which is about 24,000 from the single target. That means in order of how good they are, they go best, second, worst. And again, this is only really a multi-target thing, or it's more of your early rounds. If you're scared of something, or if something gets by, hit a button, wipes the screen. It's not really for the sort of tests I'm doing. After the single target test, the top path helicopter, or helipilot actually, the Apache Prime has 14,461 pops. After the multi-target test, the Apache Prime has 27,261, which is 12,800 from the multi-target test, and so yes, it did pop them all. After the multi-target test, the middle path helipad has 12,800 pops, and yes, again, it popped all of them. After the single target test, the middle path helipilot has 15,920 pops. We do have to remember that these better set that to follow touch, put it there, and these little dudes, Marines, also get pops, and that doesn't count for the helipads total. I managed to put down 2 in that test. One of them got about 2,000 pops, the other one got about 600 pops, so I'll add that, which gives you around 18,000 as a total. After the single target test, the bottom path heli pilot, the Comanche commander, and all of its little buddies now have 11,977 pops. After the multi-target test, the Comanche commander did pop them all, 12,900 from that, of course, which gives it a total of 24,000. Therefore, in order of how good they are, from best to worst, best, middle, worst, as is, I guess, probably expected. I'm actually going to show you me doing these next ones. Obviously not this one because we know it's going to pop them all easily. But the big one, the biggest one actually, I'm going to have to micro it to make sure that it's always attacking the BAD and therefore doing the most damage possible. And therefore, that's what I might do, let you watch it. Because, you know, because why not? Let's start with it over here. Right. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. This is stressful. Wow, didn't get very many there. Only 2,000 pops from the single target. Not very good, underwhelming. Same drill again. I'm gonna have to micro for this, so let's go. Stress. Get that tap for a bit. Go. 2,120 after that test. It won't do very well here. Once they're all on screen. Yeah, I thought so. Easy peasy. Puts it up to 14,920. Actually, I just had a thought. I probably shouldn't use this one because that's not the point of it. The point of it is that it removes all the reinforced properties of these. I meant to send out one. If I send out a Moab, watch, it makes it unreinforced. That's what it does. It doesn't actually pop balloons, although it just pop a bunch of balloons. Yeah, see, it just misses those balloons, so there's no point in using it really. So let's just do the top path and the middle path. Best, worst. If you add this into the equation, because it removes or at least the shattering shells does, because it removes reinforced properties and also camo properties, which is really useful, I'm going to say this one's probably the best, but just for sheer point power, best, worst. Although this is still really strong. Because the micro of this one is impossible, I'm actually just going to have the Dartling Gullers shoot in a straight line. By the way, I cannot wait for this. This is going to be so fun. Okay, let's do that first. Wow, that is terrible. I mean, we all know that the MAD is really bad at multi-target. Oof, that's not very good, only 10,000. Alright, let's do... set this up, that, go. $40,000 already. I forgot how insane the MAD was at single target. Wow. 46,000. That's 36,000 just from the single target. That's almost as good as the Flying Fortress got in total, right? The 72,000. Almost as much as the Flying Fortress got in total for just the single target. And it's way less expensive. MAD be insane. I didn't expect the Ray of Doom to do very well, but it's done incredibly well. 26,975 on the single target. And of course, it demolished the multi-target test. They didn't even get off the screen. 39,775. What we have learned from this is that never go Ray of Doom, because it's more expensive than the Flying Fortress and doesn't get as many pops. Again, it destroyed the multi-target, the balloon explosion, so bottom path Dartling Gunner. There's a lot of things destroying the multi-target test recently, haven't they? Because does that mean that as you get later on across the bar at the bottom, they get better? Does that mean the village is going to get loads of pops? No, obviously not. The bottom path Dartling Gunner has massively overperformed, 39,944, basically 40,000, which is about 37,000 from the single target test. All the Dartling Gunners did incredibly well on the single target test. Unfortunately though, in order of how good they are, is surprisingly most expensive is worst, middle, best. That's incredible. Although this, out of all of them, this is by miles the best for the multi-target. It still does a lot of damage to the single target, so it's still definitely worth getting. For the single target test, the Archmage Top Out Wizard, which is one I've really been waiting for, underperformed, only 6,399 pops. Actually, I'm just going to sell and rebuy this Archmage because this is a weird glitch that I saw. Just let it go round. Something really weird is about to happen. If you look at this, watch. The bad's not in its range. Bad's still not in its range. It can't see it. And then another time the same thing happens down here, watch. It's not in its range, but it still can attack it. Don't know why that happens, but it does. As is expected, the Archmage destroyed the multi-target test and has 19,198 pops as its total. The Middle Path Wizard, Wizard Lord Phoenix, destroyed the multi-target test and got all max pops, 12,800. I don't know why this one got 12,799, but it still popped all of the balloons. Whereas the others, when they pop all the balloons, get 12,800, which is really strange. I'm fairly certain there was another one that did that as well, which is strange. But still, got 12,799 then. After the single target test, the Wizard Lord Phoenix has 22,960 pops, which means about 10,000 from the single target. So, amazingly, better than the Archmage. As expected, the Bottom Path Wizard got about 218 pops from the single target. It's expected to get nothing. So in order, best, middle, worst. An important thing that I have to tell you is that for the True Sun God, I'm doing the True Sun God without any sacrifices. Still, why not try it? You know what, I've started recording, so I'm just going to keep recording because I can. Wow. Alright, that destroyed that then. And that's not doing very well. But again, it doesn't have any sacrifices. It's not meant to do very well at all. Because the more sacrifices you give it, the more powerful it gets. It gets so powerful eventually. There we are, 23,000. So that's about 12,000 from the single target. 30,000 pops for the anti-balloon gunner, which is the Middle Path Super Monkey. That's for the single target test, of course, because for the multi-target you can't get that many, you can only get 12,800. Of course, it demolished the multi-target test with 43,160 pops, which is, of course, the maximum possible for the multi-target test. The Legend of the Night has 22,688 pops after the single target test, and we all know that it's easily going to destroy the target test because it's so good at that sort of thing, which therefore, let's just wait for it to get all its pops so we can get a total 35,000. That means that in order of how good they are, worst, middle, best. We have to remember, that is without sacrifices. It can be really good normally. And this, we're not including the black hole. One, the black hole doesn't get it popped in the first place. By the way, just in case you don't know what the black hole is, if I sell this and put it down here instead, and then do that, if you look at the end of the track, just before the ceramics get to the end, there'll be a black hole, bang, and we don't lose any lives until the black hole disappears, and then we lose lives. That's its secret hidden ability, whatever you want to call it, and yeah. that doesn't actually get it any pops, as you can see. So normally it's a lot better than that. And I would personally say, that Legend of the Night is the best T5 out of all of them. After the multi-target test, the Top Path Ninja, the Grandmaster Ninja, has 6,000 pops. And after the single target test, it has 8,275 pops as a total, which is about 2,200 from the single target test. This is the one I've been waiting for a long time. It's the Master Bomber versus the single target test. I've been waiting for this one for ages. This is going to be so cool. And yes, I'm not doing the middle path one because it forms the ability that slows down all the balloons and helps other monkeys do more damage, but it doesn't do very much damage itself, so I thought that would probably be a bit of an unfair test. Can't wait for this. Let's see how much damage this does. 1,000 per explosion. Oh my gosh, look at the pops going out. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13,000, 14,000, 15,000, 16,000. Honestly, underwhelming. I've got to be honest, that was a bit underwhelming. Either way, I can't see any... Oh, I forgot that stuns balloons. That actually might do really well against this test. Questionable. Well, because I didn't do the middle path, in order of how good they are, it's worst, best. We didn't do the middle path. Honestly, I think the middle path is best because if you look at this, if I just get it first. See all going that speed? Watch, ready? And now they don't move at all because of the ability. So that's why it's a really strong tower, because it halves the amount of speed the balloons move at, which basically means that every tower gets to attack twice as many times on each balloon, and therefore is twice as good. It basically makes every single tower twice as good. So that's why I think it's the best path out of all the ninjas. But we're only doing it on problem power, so best first. After the multi-target test, the middle path alchemist total transformation has 7,944 pops. And after the single target test, it has 9,500 pops, which is about 2,000 from the single target test. I forgot about this actually. When I send out this, the Blue Metal Alchemist is going to turn it into a red balloon and get about 1 million pops. Watch. Oh wait, no, it can't do it with no, it can't do it with BADs. Right, okay, that makes sense. Just let it get its pops. Alright, I do need to do that. Yeah, okay. I'm going to rebuy that actually. Show you this. Do you see that? It's a red balloon. So let's put it on slow mode. Oh, it keeps missing. Watch. What? No, red balloon. It's so insanely powerful. Look, 2 million pops straight up. Wow. It's a really powerful tower. Let me just get these pops back in. And after the multi-target test, the bottom path alchemist has 8,192 pops, which is pretty much 8,000 from the multi-target test. And that means, because we didn't do purple blue, because that's a buffing tower, obviously it doesn't actually do any damage. In order of how good they are, it's best, worst. But then again, this can't do anything against the bad, can't do anything against the rushes. It's only good against the OMGs, BFBs and Moabs. So again, a bit of an unfair test, but whatever. Interestingly, after the multi-target test, the Druid, top half, Superstorm, even though it popped every single balloon, and therefore should have got 12,800 pops, it only got 12,791, which is strange. Still, it popped all of them on the multi-target test and would have popped more if there were more. After the single target test, it has 30,119 pops, which is about 300 from the single target test, but I have to say this again, it doesn't blow BADs back because BADs can't be affected by that sort of attack. So again, it's a bit of an unfair test, but whatever. Considering the type of tower it is, the Spirit of the Forest did surprisingly well against the single target test with 1,995 pops. And as expected, it destroyed the multi-target test, getting all 12,800 available pops. Actually, I decided I am not going to use the Avatar of Wrath, because the only reason you ever get an Avatar of Wrath is because it gives buffs to all of the other pop lusts around it. One more, this one should be times 5, it should make them all times 5, and this guy's times 5, and they're all times 5 buff, and basically they all do a lot more damage. Because we're only doing it at one tower, I thought that would be a bit of an unfair test. So I'll just do top and middle, in which case Spiritual Force is better. On this one, it doesn't make much of a difference what round we do, so I'm just going to do round 1 for the banana farm, and see which banana farm makes the most money. Made 7,800 in one round. Because it's a lot quicker, I can just record all of it. It's unfair to do the monkey enormous, because the only reason the monkey enormous is good is because it accumulates over multiple rounds. So I'm not going to do that. That's put it to a bank. Let's do this. I know valuable bananas is the best, by the way. Oh, that's actually doing quite well. Nowhere near as well though. Alright, top path best. As expected, the Supermine for Top Path Spike Factory demolished the multi-target test 12,800 pops. And I think this makes the Supermine our best T5 tower so far, with 115,915 total pops, which is 103,000 for the single target test. So it looks like we have the winner of the whole thing, best T5 tower. But then again, we haven't done this, we haven't done this, we haven't done this, we haven't done this or this, we haven't. And the Carpenter Spike has got 72,219 pops after the single target test, and it's obvious, really, that it's easily going to top all of the surrounds in the single target, because spikes everywhere. Then like, yeah, it's gone. So that means total of 85,000 pops, not quite as good as Superman still though. Of course I am waiting for a bit to let the perm spikes build up, otherwise it doesn't actually get any pop, otherwise it won't get any pops at all, because each spike from the perm spike is terrible. The point is that they're permanent and last like forever, and then you can have loads of them. That's kind of the point of them. Let's do this test. The perm spike's actually really good on single target. This might be interesting. It's really good on single target because of the amount of spikes there are. Ooh, this could be fun. Ah, no, it's not that good. I didn't give it enough time to build up. 34,480, which means in order of how good they are from best to worst is nice and orderly, best, middle, worst. Now, of course, I can't really do a Homeland Defense and a Monkeyopolis for pops because they don't get pops, but I'm just going to show how many pops the primary expertise gets from these tests. Oh, okay, so it's 200 per hit, but it's really good against multi-target. I know that because this attack has incredible pierce, can hit so many targets at once. It's actually doing really well. I do like the fact that it's infinite range though. It's really awesome. It's like a good version of a sniper. The multi-target, it should pop all of these. Wow. Alright. Oh. Whoops. Okay, now I've got them all. Because now it's actually got more than one target to hit at. Oh, I just sent a bunch of BFBs. You saw nothing? It would have popped those anyway. Alright, so how many pops is that? 23,128 pops in total for the new primary expertise, plus it gets loads of buffs. Confusingly, it popped all of the multi-target test balloons and yet only got 12,772 pops, which I think is the lowest we've seen out of all the ones that popped all of the balloons. Like, look, that's 100 balloons. Count 100. That's 100 reinforced ceramics, but it got less pops. Really weird. I do not know why that's happening. 20,000 pops after the single target test, which is about 8,000 from the single target test. The XXXL trap, which is probably 20 because it's 3 X's, which is 30 before 50, which means 20 in Roman numerals, even though 20 is actually XX. Still, the XXXL trap has 12,800 pops after this multi-target test, and for obvious reasons, we can't do a single target test with it, because it basically doesn't get any pops. The trap itself doesn't do anything, so if I do this, the trap nobbles it up. Most of them at least. Okay, so put the trap down fast enough. So still, same thing really. And get the trap to go away. So yeah, it doesn't actually get any pops really for doing the reinforced BAD, and therefore I can't really do a single target test with this. Also, for obvious reasons, I can't do an ultra boost because that buffs other things. It has nothing to do with like popping at all. So, but honestly, I think the ultra boost is best because of the insane buffs it gives to monkeys. So, if you guys have enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe button. If this video gets 5 likes, I will try to beat round 300 next video. Goodbye.